believe it or not, that's right across the track. But the main reason why I'm doing this video is to give an update really on the feasibility study that's been done for the proposal of opening this line. Now, I've been told some information, so treat it as you wish. It's fairly credible, the ins and outs of the report, which I think is interesting from a public point of view, to find where we're going with this line as regards its success of being reopened again as a passenger service. Fundamentally, one of the main arguments of this railway line being reopened is what form of transport, what mode is best to be used, and there's a lot of people who are championing the tram because we have a fantastic tram connection going into Fleetwood from Blackpool, but it isn't good for getting people out of Fleetwood to reconnect with a main railway line, say if you're going to go on your holidays sometime soon, Manchester Airport, or shopping, or getting the unemployment out of Fleetwood to get themselves jobs and explore the big wide world. And railway lines are brilliant for doing that. The next option would be tram trains, which is a combination of a tram and a train. It's a tram that runs on railway lines, but you see, that's fraught with some difficulties. Not only is it quite expensive, and there's only been one successful version in Sheffield, this line connects to a main line at Port Fylde, where the platform is obviously going to be at the profile level to a main train, whereas a tram train, you'd have to decide how you would want the boarding lip of the train itself. Would it be at tram level or train level? And unfortunately, there is no intermediate option to be able to work at two platform levels. So in theory, if it was just a tram train, the tram train would stop shy of Port Fylde if it was going to serve this line as a tram, if you get what I mean, and it wouldn't necessarily go all the way into Fleetwood as regards to where the railway station would be, near the Three Lights pub. It would come off at Jameson Road, like the tram idea, I believe, and then it'd go sort of past Eros roundabout, Nautical College, and then join at Broadwaters, densely populated with vehicles and cars, and it would have some interference with the general traffic. Plus the infrastructure to put that in place. I'm not being a negative ninny as regards trams or tram trains, I'm for whatever's going to work in the area, but it would be very expensive, and I don't think that is ideal, not for this line anyway.
For either form of transport, the line would have to be stripped back to the ground bed, and it's assumed around 50% of the old sleepers and rail could be reused. For heavy rail, the road crossing the Hillerlade Road would have to close, as the road angle and the line of sight would now, in modern terms, be quite an issue. However, Thornton Station crossing would be reinstated. New walkover bridges deemed fit for purpose, and new drainage and troughs for cabling would also be laid. Non-contaminated ballast might also be cleaned and reused.
As you know, the Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps, did announce about reconnecting railways, reversing the beaching cuts of all the stations and lines that have been axed since the 60s, because the government see it as a way of modernising the transport system of this country, to get people to use the transport again, to get the economy going, and more so now than ever really. But it will cost a lot of money. He announced, you know, they'll pay for feasibility studies. £100,000 was given for a feasibility study on this line, and this line's length is all the way to the desired location will be 7,500 metres. It used to go a lot further than that many moons back, but it doesn't really sound that long in respect to opening a branch line or a sub-branch line, but it does connect into Fleetwood, the heart of Fleetwood, well, near the heart of Fleetwood hopefully, where they can get to use the rails, because it has not had a railway station for many years and it is in desperate need of a railway station.
The new station would be built opposite the Three Lights pub on a triangle spare bit of land. Potentially the station will see 2 platforms, unmanned station, but it will have CCTV and customer ticket machines. Fleetwood ideally would be a park and ride style station. The line has been noted not for electrification, but for use of battery trains, like the possible upgrade of the Northern 331 train, a 4-car set with the future scope of 4 trains per hour using the passing loops. An assessment gave 2 trains per hour extra capacity to Preston in modern day terms. 70-mile-an-hour trains will travel on this line, which will get you from Preston to Fleetwood in about 39 minutes.
The last passenger train to run across these rails was in 1970. That's a long time ago. Best part of 50 years. So I've started from the Mounderners Way, which is just south of Thornton for Cleveland station here on the Fylde coast, and I'm heading towards an area of the railway line called Shirley Heights, which is just before Polton Station. So it's just interesting to see what state it's in and how it looks before the potential retransformation of getting passenger services back on this line. And this is where the line joins together, the 2 lines that come from Poultney Fylde. Now I could potentially go further that way. Big fence in the way, there's another one a bit further down. It's a bit of a distance, probably about a 10-minute walk, but it's best to stay away from a live railway. Set an example. But this is disused, so I'm pretty safe here, and I've been given permission. But you can see where the line joined together as it went off to Fleetwood from Polton. I think the Queen Victoria actually rode underneath here along these rails once to Fleetwood. Amazing.